Oh wait, I had to fix my hair.
Give Charles all your attention.
Yeah, I want all the attention.
And put your cell phones away.
Well, thank you everybody who came in for Valentine's and Mother's Day. It's been getting busy. This week is the last prom. I'm so happy. Um, you'll be doing that soon. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions? I don't know really. You pretty much know everything about. I haven't been bringing flowers lately because it seems Wednesdays has been. I can't get to the shop Wednesday mornings. But if you want anything, just let me know a few days ahead of time, and I'll bring it. Back to normal probably next week. But other than that,
Are you having problems with imports?
I know. Huh?
Are you having problems with imports?
No.
All your stuff comes in.
No. It's just been crazy busy, which is a good thing.
Have prices gone up on some of your stuff?
No, not really.
Is everything local?
Not really. I get it local, but
No.
no, like I just ordered stuff for this girl wanted a special prom bouquet. I'm getting things from England. And it really wasn't that much difference to get I was surprised at the price point. And she was very upset about the prices. She wanted it, and I did call her and tell her I could do it for a little less for her because they were arguing. But they want wedding bouquets now. I mean, these bouquets are $200 for a prom. Right. They used to be a $40 little nosegay. Wow. These are wedding bouquets now, and even all the guys are wearing big. I'm gaudy. I like big. They're big, and they put a brooch under it, and it's all these big, loud colors, and so everybody's doing their own thing. Sneakers with pot leaves on it. I think it's great, but it just doesn't seem prom-y. But they're spending a lot of money on flowers.
Your flowers are locally grown though, right?
Some. I only get local stuff from the farms in the summer.
Okay.
The rest, now, like the difference with the sunflowers, when I get them from the field, they're like I charge $1 each. If I get them from the greenhouse, they will last, and the field ones last 3 or 4 days if you keep the water clean. The ones I get in the greenhouse last a week or 2 weeks if you keep the water clean. That's the difference. And they come in a little net.
3 or 4 days versus a week to 2 weeks. That's a big difference.
Well, how they're grown. When you just grow them out in the field and they get the elements and the weather and the rain smashing on them, and they get very wilty and limpy. And the ones I get are firm. They stand up straight. They're a thicker stem, and they just seem to last longer. You get what you pay for. Really, it's like roses.
The wild ones are less robust than the.
Yeah. Most of the time, if you cut a flower from your own yard, it will never last as long as something that comes from a greenhouse.
Is it because it's modified?
No, it's just, I guess, the way they're growing it and the fertilizer they use. And now a lot of the stuff from the farms, like Cosmos and Black-Eyed Susans and all, they put horse manure on that stuff. That all lasts a long time. The problem with that is when I get it in the store and put it in the buckets for a few days, you smell the horse manure. Doesn't smell like a little rose, But no, pretty soon and it's a lot cheaper. You get a big bunch. You see my bunches. I can do $15 and $20 on them, whereas from the greenhouse they'd be $25 or $30.
Right.
But the field flowers are beautiful. They're just not a long-lasting thing,
What can you use to at home to pour in the water to help preserve the flower?
The packet does help. I put a liquid in them, and it's basically the same thing. So when you get my flowers, you don't need it. The stem can only drink up so much of it. Once it gets the initial drink, it doesn't really need anything. Just put fresh water. Don't put an aspirin or sugar or that's old wives' tales, and it really doesn't do anything. You got the packet. That's why. Like Ralph comes in a lot in the mornings and Steve's come in a few times, and I'll tell him I don't want to sell them right now. I want at least 3 or 4 hours for my things to drink the way I want them. And then I know you don't have to worry about it when you get home. Because that's important.
Many a time that's happened.
What temperature water?
I just use cold tap water. Now, if you want it to open, like I'm going to have to today, I go get my carnations for tomorrow morning's funeral. They're going to be all tight. So I'm going to go home to my house, put them in as hot as water as your hand can stand, put the oven on and put them in front of the oven so that they'll open. And when they drink the water, it'll force them to open. But if you want them to last, it has to be cold water.
So I always use lukewarm.
No, use cold.
Or room temperature.
Use cold. Some flowers you can, I mean, like some, I guess you can if you want them to open, and if they have a hard stem, lilac. And then any kind of branchy flower like that, break it. Don't cut it. Break it. It makes all that fiber loose, and it'll drink a lot more. Hydrangeas too. I like that long cut, but a lot of people put 4 cuts, or some people snap the ends. I think snapping the ends is the best way to do it.
I have to tell you, my son got me tulips. I have no idea where he got them. Me and his girlfriend for Mother's Day. And I put the pennies in there like he told me, and mine lasted longer than hers because I told her to and she didn't. But they were droopy within 2 days, if not earlier.
Tulips are very hard.
And, well, yeah, but with yours, if I do what you tell me to do, they last longer than that. And
I try to stay with the same grower because I take everything home to see. And believe it or not, I don't know how we missed it. And I tell the guys, they help me and they water everything. There were 2 arrangements in the back on the shelf. And it's cold in my place. I have it on 58. But they kept watering them. And yesterday I went in and I looked and I said, what the hell are these? They were beautiful except for the baby roses. They lasted since Mother's Day, the Thursday before Mother's Day. So I try to stay with those people because I know what the product is. But tulips are hard. Sometimes I'll get them in 2 days I have to throw them out. They're blown and done, even with the pennies. But I like Van Dykes, they're expensive. They're nice, but they will last. Van Dykes will last 2 weeks, but you're going to pay $30 for the bunch. Whereas you pay $15 for a bunch of the local. That's the difference.
Van Dyke is a brand. Though.
Yes, Van Dyke is a Holland brand. Yes.
They used to tell me when your flowers came home, cut them on an angle.
Yep. Because if you cut it flat, it's going to land on the bottom of the vase and it won't drink the water. If you cut it on an angle, the side of the flower will get the water. Yep. Yep.
Do you have to put the stem under running water, or is that not?
No. Nope. And I saw something on. I look at the other. I like this German man. They're very different way of doing things in flowers. He takes the tulip or a rose and he puts a pin through the head. And I have no idea what that does. I've tried that and it doesn't seem to do anything. But in Holland and Germany and Europe and all, that's what they do. And maybe it's to let an air bubble out. I don't know. But no, they just stick it and pull it out. And I don't see it as any benefit. But you do, if you cut like a handful of flowers at one time and stick them in the vase, sometimes you'll see the bubbles. That's the air bubbles. So if the stem gets an air bubble, it won't drink. It'll go,
We had a florist in here years ago who said about the outdoor flowers, bringing them in, not lasting. And she said one of her things, because the flower was used to being outside in sunlight. Then when you bring it inside, it doesn't have that natural sunlight anymore. That's why they die faster.
No, the minute you cut it off the plant, it starts to die. The life expectancy is what your temperature in your house is and how you care for it. But it's like a sunflower. If you take care of a sunflower and you change the water every day and cut a little bit off the bottom, they will last 2 or 3 weeks. Once it starts drinking that yucky color water, it's too late to do it unless you cut it like really short, because all that poison is already going up that stem. It's just going to die. You have to keep the water clean, and a lot of people don't. I do Laura Salon. And every 2 weeks I go over there and pick up that vase, and it is a slimy mess. And lately I'm using my own vase because I share it with her because I have to soak it. I'm not, but if they were to keep that vase of water clean, it would last them 3 weeks because they use orchids and stuff, So it's all about keeping it clean. And what I always say, rinse your vase out with bleach. Put like a tablespoon of bleach in the vase, shake it around, and then dump it and rinse it 2 or 3 times. But that little tiny bit of bleach will keep the bacteria down. So if you're lazy and you don't want to change your water every day, the bleach will help it.
The pin prick below the bloom is sterilized to allow air in the stem to escape because tulip stems are hollow.
Yeah, it must be.
Also helps water flow to the stem into the bud.
Yep. And daffodils, you know how they're hollow? They have the hole in the middle. When we go to put them in, if we're using foam, we have to put a stick up the middle and tape it, and it'll stand up that way. But They are hollow. So yeah, the air
How long are
bubble.
you saying how often are you saying you should change the water?
Really, you should do it every other day minimum. Really, it should be every other day. But if you can look at the water and see it, if it's not clear or it starts to get a little debris, because I always put pebbles or stones in my bottoms of my clear vases because sometimes there's like the greens have a little bit of dirt or whatever on them that you don't get off it, so you don't see that on the bottom of the vase. So the stones cover it up. But if you see the water starting to change color, that means you need to change the water.
Real quick, can you talk about other things that you sell besides flowers?
Well, I'm going to start the flea market again, but I'm only doing the pepper jelly, the one original one, and the chocolate cranberry pecan pies. They're the ones I got the order on.
What else is in your store?
I have all kind of depression, everything from the 30s to the 70s. I just got a big box of 80s. I have to show you Disney stuff, Disney characters from the 80s. With Disney characters that I know who they are. Okay, because usually I don't know who they are now, but they're nifty. I'll show you. I just got them the other day. I haven't even opened the box out yet. So I'll show you them. And then anything, I have people who come in and just leave me a box on the porch. I got 45 records. I have vintage records that I just got, and the record collector wants to come down and look at them because he took some before. I have Lennox, Waterford. Can't give Lennox away anymore, but and my baskets, Fenton. I mean, anything that's collectible, I have. But I'm getting away from that because I'm so busy right now. A few more months, it'll be back on Marketplace and stuff. But right now, I can't even open the boxes.
Well, when you need to give the Disney stuff away.
I know. They're so cute. The Lady and the Tramp and that kind of thing. The old ones. Like the new ones, I have no idea who these
There are no new ones.
characters are. Well, yes, there are. Oh my God. And if I hear that song, Get Away or whatever one more time, I'm just going to die. You're going to play that at the wedding, aren't you? Look away. What is it? Die.
Facebook
From
marketplace for those?
Yeah.
Do you sell the flowers on there for that?
No, just the products. And I'm starting to ship it. That got really crazy with shipping and buying the boxes and buying the bubble wrap and but people don't seem to have a problem paying for it. But it's almost as much to ship it. Some of the products, like the old vintage stuff, some plates are $5, some are $200. But if you're getting 3 plates for $5 and you're paying $18 to ship it, you really want those plates. But the ladies and now tea is a new thing. If anybody going to a tea at and they have the little plates where you keep your saucer, your sandwich plate, and that they're big now, and they're from like the 60s and 70s. So I sell a lot of them on Marketplace. I just don't have time, but you can go on my Marketplace page under my name or Miss Daisy and see all the stuff that's listed. The only thing now is I just put if they ask you now if it's sold, and you just take it off because now they want to see how much you're selling it for, what you're getting. And I think that's a little invasive other people, because if you got on Marketplace and you liked it, and it was $200, I would give it to you for $150 or something. But if I didn't like you, I would charge you $225. So I don't tell them what I put on
Yeah, I
the
don't
price.
understand why on Marketplace, if they sell it, why they leave it up and they mark it sold. Take the damn thing down.
Just take it off.
Yes.
Yeah, take it off.
All right.